Lauda and James Hunt side by side. An incredible battle between these two great drivers.
Well, as car racing movies go, I can't say that I'm a huge fan. Yes, there's been some so-called classics in the genre like Grand Prix and Le Mans with Steve McQueen, of course, Days of Thunder. But those movies are all a lot of vroom vroom and not a whole lot of story. That's where these movies generally fall apart. They're great racing around the track, but when they get, into real human interaction, they don't quite work. Well, lo and behold, along comes Rush. It's from director Ron Howard, and the screenwriter is Peter Morgan, who did The Queen, Frost Nixon. He really knows about relationships, and this is a car racing movie for the ages. It's probably the best one I've seen. It deals with Formula One. It not only is one of the best pictures of this year, it's one of the best of any year.
Welcome to the most dangerous circuit on the season. Electric tension here at Fuji.
Has so far been the story of two men.
And the racing grudge match of the decade.
Let me tell you a little bit about it. It takes place in the 70s, and it concerns the rivalry between James Hunt, an English racing driver, and Niki Lauda, who's from Austria, and the two of them could not be more polar opposite.
I had that corner.
What do you mean, the one that you spun out of and finished facing the other way? I think that corner had you.
That move was total suicide. But if I hadn't braked, we'd have crashed.
Well, no, but we didn't, did we? Thanks to your impeccable survival instincts.
But they spend 1 year on the Formula One circuit, really sort of going at each other, back and forth. And what this movie really does was dig out the human relationships involved in this story, which is a remarkable story. I'm surprised it's never been told before. I understand Niki Lauda, who is still alive, has turned down many overtures from Hollywood to tell his story, and quite a story it is. During that year, he got involved in a very fiery crash. He was given the last rites. He was not expected to live, and he was back on the track racing within 6 weeks. An amazing performance of Niki Lauda by Daniel Bruhl from Inglourious Bastards.
I feel responsible for what happened.
Trust me, watching you win those races while I was fighting for my life, you were equally responsible for getting me back in the car.
He's absolutely terrific in this movie and deserves a Best Supporting Actor nomination. The star is Chris Hemsworth, who plays James Hunt. He's an Australian playing an Englishman, but you would never know the difference. He's absolutely also excellent. Where this movie goes very right is in telling the remarkable story of these two, and that's what makes it so interesting.
That wind you can feel is me breathing down your neck. Next time I'll have you.
Peter Morgan's a brilliant screenwriter, and he gets the most out of this story. And Ron Howard, really, this is one of the best movies he's ever made. It's almost a very independent movie for this very studio-oriented director. He's done a great job here. The cinematography by the Oscar-winning cinematographer of Slumdog Millionaire, Anthony Dodd Mantle, is excellent. The sound mixing, the editing, the music score by Hans Zimmer, everything adds up to one of the best entertainments of this year. You should rush out and see Rush. I say go.